Going live. I guess we are live.
You're live.
All right, my friends. How's everything going out in YouTube land? It's yours truly, Rockin' Dave, the real deal, North Fort Myers, Southwest Florida, with my better half with me.
I tend to do that.
Like what do you call it? Those B movies, bad editing. All of a sudden, boom, there you are.
Here I am.
So, I hope all is well. And the reason why we're going live tonight is tomorrow we got our gig at the Art Walk downtown Fort Myers, and so that is scheduled. So is that 6 to 10 we're doing?
6 to 10
Yeah,
tomorrow night.
Yeah, 6 to 10.
Yes.
And really excited. We'll be posting up some of the videos. The one video that I already have up where I'm removing one of the posts from the wraparound bridge is I put this bridge on here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I replaced the Godot bridge with this bridge, actually from WD Music. Now, this is the exact same style bridge that Wilkeson had their name stamped on it. But this is from WD Music, which is about a mile up the road from us, which WD Music is a worldwide supplier for all major brands and manufacturers. I think it's supplied definitely for brands manufacturers. Turn the volume down.
I just wanted to make sure it was
Oh,
on.
okay. And I think they supply for Heritage Guitars, Gibson, and Fender, and quite a few others.
Okay, so the purpose of this live
Yes.
stream is to
spotlight our CD, our new CD called Hope on the Horizon. And you know what? Here, I just really wanted to touch bases on this. We're putting this bridge on really quick.
Oh,
so far, it's working out great. And I have to adjust the saddles here because if you guys look at this, yeah, it's at the saddles. This adjusts the B and G string. So this is movable. Everything else, you got to move it, like the standard Paul Reed Smith bridges or some of the Gibson bridges. But so far, my theory on this is that so far the tuning's working great. But my theory on this is simply this: you have a long part where the string sits before it transitions off the saddle, so it's a nice smooth transition from the bridge. So the Godot had the little saddles like that are on the Gibson style bridges. Problem is those were breaking strings left and right. And at our gig Saturday at Yucatan's, I busted 3 of these strings. One was the B, high E, and then finally the G string. I was like, okay, I gotta solve this issue. So my hope is that it's going to solve the problem, and then tomorrow's gig we'll find out for sure because we're going to be outside, and then followed by Saturday's gig at Yucatan's, and then followed by Sunday's gig at the Hyatt Regency in Coconut Point, Estero.
Bonita Springs.
Yeah, Bonita Springs, which is just south of us, north of Naples and south of Fort Myers. So that's what's going on with that. Okay, so now on with the CD. Now, could I take the cover out of that insert? Because you get a glare. Yeah, because this I'm gonna. So here's the CD cover, Hope on the Horizon, and that was a picture we took when we were at our beach in North Fort Myers, not Fort Myers Beach. That's a town, but North Fort Myers. That's about maybe not even 2 miles away from us, about a mile and a half, if that. And it just happened that a bird was flying by and just, snapped a few pictures with the phone. So the story behind this CD, it's Hope on the Horizon is the opening track. And originally it was titled 12 Disciples because that was a song before we came down here to Southwest Florida when we were still up in the Chicagoland area. We used to do these Christmas guitar shows at the Warehouse Church. And that was one of the songs I did play at one of our last Christmas guitar shows at Warehouse Church. And kind of has nice spiritual feeling there. So its original title was called 12 Disciples. And then I had changed it down here because I didn't want people feel like I was jamming religion down their throats. Sometimes that could be. So instantly Hope's Horizon came to my, mind. And then Hope on the Horizon after I took this picture. It's got kind of a nice meaning because of after 2020, lockdown and that. This kind of gives you a new hope for a new day, right? Um, but this whole CD is on kind of what I call a laid back, relaxing jazz fusion. And it is on the Java Jazz record label. I'm reading the back insert right here.
You
Without
got
my
it.
notes, man, I got to be scripted, I guess. Without my notes, sometimes I just wander off.
Hey, Zach. Hi, Kim.
What is happening, guys? I think Deb sees more of what I could see. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the
Yeah.
songs.
Two songs. I'm gonna give you a story behind the titles.
Dave's got 12 songs
Yeah.
on this new CD,
Mm-hmm.
which is on our website. I've got it on our website, davebyronmusic.com. And there is a link that reads Jazz Fusion. And tapping on that link will open up to the CD. You'll see the cover. It's available for downloading. So it's $10 to download all 12 songs on the full CD, or if you like individual tracks, 99 cents per track. And for those who prefer the physical CD, can
Mhm.
go ahead and reach out to us, and I'll mail you a CD, and they're $10.
Yeah.
And we've actually had people already reach out to us for the physical CD. So those have been mailed out, and thank you to everybody who has purchased
Yes.
and downloaded
Thank you so
Hope on
much.
the Horizon as well. So we love you guys.
We love
And
all you guys.
okay, so we're just gonna kind of jot through this. You have a website to buy from. Yes, Kim. Dave Byron. Oh, okay, got it. All right, awesome. And hey, David
Morales. Hey,
Morales,
Dave.
hey.
Are you the one selling
Selling
the bad cat
on
on
local CL?
uh
On local CL? What is that?
Craigslist?
Oh, Craigslist.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, unfortunately, no, I'm not, David. Unless there's someone out here in the area that's selling the bad cat amp.
Oh, that's an amp.
Yeah. Yes. They got all kind. Everything's changed. It used to be Fender, Gibson, and Peavey, and Mesa Boogie. Now it's Mm-hmm. But no, unfortunately, no, Dave. I'm sorry about that, but no, I have to see if Sometimes I get on Craigslist. I just check out what's happening. You know.
So
Yeah.
okay, we'll just go through a rundown.
Yeah.
Of
Rundown.
the 12 songs that are on the CD,
So
and
yeah.
Dave is going to share a little bit of what inspired him
Mhm.
to write each one of the songs, and then just go ahead and chime in the chat if you've got any questions or
Yeah.
anything or comments or anything like that. Totally cool. All right. And we might get photobombed by one of the cats. We do have 3, so any one of them could come flying. They're a little rambunctious tonight.
Yeah.
They've already been running up and down the hallway. We can
Mhm.
hear them wiping out on the carpet.
Oh, it's funny.
So they're chasing each other. All right. So the first song on the CD is the title track.
Hope on the Horizon. And
what inspired you, Dave, to write that song?
Well, the whole thing is it starts with chord progressions. Everything I do starts with a chord progression and a melody, right? And this particular CD, like some other ones, the type of jazz fusion that I'm interested in, the chord progressions, it's always based around major 7 and minor 7 chords with a couple of major 9th chords. They just have to me. They just happen to have this real calmness, and this is the style of music that when I graduated high school in 1981, and I met my guitar buddy Andy at Chicago Music Company, not Chicago Music Exchange. That was not around. It was called Chicago Music Company, and I remember going there, and then there was this guy there just checking out some amps. I'm like, man, this guy sounds great. Who is this? And we struck up a friendship and that, and he invited me to his house and that, and then I met his best friend, Angel, and it was the 3 of us. We'd get together and have these jam sessions. And like about half a year later, Louis and Robin and I met their teacher, like Yvonne. So we have these massive jam sessions, and it was always based around these major 7th and minor 7 chords. So this whole CD kind of takes me back to those days when we would be having these massive jam sessions. So part of that inspiration is kind of reflecting on those days. But getting back to the actual titles, a lot of times a chord progression and a melody will evoke certain emotions. So as I did Hope on the Horizon, well, I did say I changed the title. So this is the third title and final title, Hope on the Horizon. And it actually, after we took the picture, when I look at the picture, this is actually a sunset, but you could have a twofold meaning with this. So you could say this as a sunrise, as hope for a new day on the horizon, or even with the sunset, as one day closes, another day is going to begin. So there's always that hope. And it just it just for me gives it more of a positive outlook in life. And then again, when I play the chords, it reflects those emotions. So
Yeah,
that
it has a real pretty opening
yeah,
too.
it does.
An intro.
And,
Intro to
in
it.
its intro, it'll start with the pad with the strings, which I did with the guitar synth, our GR55 synth.
Oh, you use a synth on that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
know
So
that.
this actually, I'm gonna let me real briefly. This song, these songs were actually not all of them, but some of them were written back. I want to say maybe 2014 ish, and they started made their transitions. And then with all the gigging we've been doing, we haven't had time to release anything. So actually, this is the first full length CD release,
About
and
10
again about
years.
10 years. So I'm always recording things, and it gets put on the back burner. But so yeah, that right there is that one was about this song, and the next song, "Calling for You," was another one that was recorded around the same time we were doing shows with Renee.
Oh yeah,
And
that was a
actually,
couple years
"Calling
ago.
for You," actually, we used to have this tribute show with Renee called Yesterday Once More, and she sounded just like Karen Carpenter. So we do these shows, and we're doing ticket sales with all that. So I happened to take one of the songs we were working on, and I looked at the chord progression. I thought, geez, I wonder what happened if I just mixed the chord progression up, and I did, and that came out to be the let's see, let's see. And that became with the chord progression and the melody. But originally, it was written to for with Renee in mind to write some lyrics, but we didn't have enough time. And around yeah, it was around that time we were making our way to relocate down here.
Yeah.
So this was like a work in progress, and so I just finished it down here. And the melody again, so calling for you, the title, it starts to have this kind of a spiritual type of a thing, so it's like, all right, you're going through tough times, but there's always a hope for a better day, and I figure falling calling for you, you know we all have those moments where we're looking for help and looking to reach out for someone. So that's how this starts to the song titles start to connect and have what I call the a better ending, because the third song is called Count Your Blessings, and that song literally I improvised it when I was doing one of my gigs at not oh it was at the Tarpon Lodge down here. And literally, I was just before I hit the record and before I started my gig, I was just make sure the guitars are tuned, and I always do a little sound check. And so that kind of chord progression, as I was playing it, there was a couple that was sitting at the table because these places open up early, so there's people there, and I forget what their conversation was, but they were so happy that they were able to come down here and so happy. Look at this guy. Sorry, I gotta look at the cat.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pen he's looking at. Maybe it's the tail of one of his toys underneath the box. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, yes.
Something. Oh, he's gonna drag it under.
Their pet rat
Yeah,
is crushed under a
it
box.
it is.
Well, I kind of set the box on top of
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
couldn't reach it to move it, so and the boxes were long. Actually, because I bought us a today I bought us a new tent, a canopy for our outdoor gigs. It's like this for the sunshade. And we're going to be using it tomorrow,
yeah,
and so we have it here in the living room. So I put it on top of the cat's toy.
yeah,
Apparently, he wants to play with that toy, right?
yeah, yeah.
And Kim says, "Geez, I wish I lived in Florida. Nothing but pine trees up here."
Yeah, it is. It is nice. It gets hot down here in the summertime.
Yep.
But
So I interrupted you.
yeah,
Count your
yeah.
blessings. That
So yeah,
couple.
the couple they were just talking about how happy they were coming down here, and it almost sounded like they almost were not able to come down, and if they got a business up north, and things were kind of like, oh, but they were able to come down, and just that term hit me in the head. Count your blessings. I went like, and it just stuck with me. So sometimes a lot of these titles are actually just catchphrases, and but they just come out as being kind of really cool titles for instrumental music.
Okay.
So
Song number
so the
4,
fourth song is
In
called
Good Faith.
"In Good Faith," and that one I was messing with that chord progression again down here, and that's another one that when I recorded it with the acoustic guitar, the Breed Love with the guitar synth on it, and then I used some of the synth. And the way the chord progression is, it's kind of hard sitting while I get the guitar kind of moving around. But again, the way the whole chord progression, as I was listening to the playback, and it came up with the melodies. And a lot of times when I come up with melodies, all I'm doing is arpeggiating the chord. I try to go for the emotion. The way the song felt to me, it felt like some people have intentions, and sometimes it comes out to be almost like maybe misunderstood. But they have good intentions. They mean it in a good faith. They're not trying to hurt. So again, it was another catchphrase that just bam came into my mind, and it seemed to be a good title. So that's why I chose that one. Now, here's something with song number 5 called Reconcile. I had no idea what I was going to call it because, again, that was when we were still up in Illinois, and we were doing some, I forget where this gig was. The gig was in downtown Chicago, Illinois, and we were doing some, I forget where this gig was. The gig was in downtown Chicago, Illinois, and we were doing some, I forget where this gig was. The gig was in downtown Chicago, Illinois, and we were doing some. There you go.
Oops. Go ahead.
So yeah, it was downtown Chicago, and I think it was not those doctors, but it was like some. Remember, we were up on the. I think that's the gig that was in Humboldt Park, and it was like on the 5th floor or 4th floor, the third floor was one. I used to play at Humboldt Park with my friends back in the '80s, and boy, I tell you what, you have a jam session, and then you hurry up and get out of here because here comes the gangbangers. But now fast forward to 2014ish, and the whole area is like it's the elite lives there. It's like it's so bizarre to see things change like that. It really is. But so this whole chord progression, I was playing it. It's another major minor. It starts with a minor seventh, D flat minor to a D major seventh. So the way the rhythms come up, to me, it's like such a pace. It's like a story. And
Sonia,
Sonia, how you doing? Thank you for
hello.
tuning in. Thank you everyone for tuning in. See, now I could see everyone's chats on this side of Deb's laptop. Usually I'm on my
Oh,
phone.
yes. Yeah, we're on the
Yeah.
laptop.
Zach, what's happening? Thank you for tuning in, guys. Kim, I appreciate it. Dave, there you go.
Okay.
So, okay, so being in the area,
Reconcile?
yeah, how that title came. I remember as I'm playing, and literally as I'm playing the chords and going over the melody, it just was. kind of reflected in my mind just how much this neighborhood has changed, from back in the mid 80s. Because I used to go there with my friend. My friend Louis, he lived on, he lived in no, he lived on Wood Street, uh, just by Augusta and Ashland Avenue. And if anyone's familiar with that area and the Humboldt Park area, back in the 80s, man, it was bad neighborhood. It was tough. But so how things have changed as I'm playing, it just made me realize, everything changed and it still had maybe its reputation, but it's starting to build itself up. So the title Reconcile, it made me think as I was literally as I was playing this, how people again go through things, they have a change of heart, they literally change their lives. And there's what they call reconcile. They want to reconcile. They're bad. They want to just fix things. So
Within themselves.
yeah, within themselves, and that's
Okay.
exactly within themselves. Exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I was seeing in this neighborhood. I'm like, wow, man, this is like, it's all proof that everything could change, and it does. Now, so that's kind of the story behind that song, and then the sixth song is entitled "Life's Good." Well, that just came to be as I was putting the songs together, for the CD during the mix down. I thought, well, you know what? This title matches Reconcile because as everything starts to come back to where it's supposed to be, life becomes great again. And so that to me was a good, appropriate title right after. And as you listen to the CD, you'll hear these chord progressions, you'll hear the different grooves and moves, and then you can kind of, if you go through all these emotions, you'll see what I mean. For me, at least, that's what it fits. So, song number 7 called "Stepping Out."
Oh, what's the story behind
Yeah,
that
now
one?
this one, it's not what people, it's not what people think. Some people think, oh wow, life is good now. Here comes good
Now
time
he's
Charlie.
stepping
He's stepping out and stepping back down. But this song, actually,
coming home with your drawers on
yeah,
backwards,
baby,
baby.
just a friend.
Just a friend.
Looky here,
Not
while
what
you're
you
stepping out,
think.
someone else is stepping in. Um,
Not what you think.
yeah, but no, this song is really reflecting on when you're stepping out. You're. The song has a really good vibe to it,
I don't know how I got pregnant.
and yeah, no, it's not that kind of vibe.
I have no idea how I got pregnant.
So you have these kind of rhythms that evoke certain emotions, and for this particular one, to me, evoke the emotion like you're stepping out, but you're stepping out and you're stepping out in life with a more clear conscience, positive attitude, and you're in control of yourself again. You're already gone through all your ups and downs, and it's like not too far distance behind you. So now you got that back there, and you're able to clean things up. And now as you step out, you're having that reflection on life. So hopefully that transfers on other people as they see you. So the next song,
Now, let me jump in here.
yeah,
Kim says, my town looks nothing like it did 25 years ago. Boom.
yeah,
Kaboom.
I know.
And Zach is laughing.
Yeah.
LOL. LOL. Was it something we said?
Yeah, I think it was something
Was it
said
something
that.
we said?
You see, Deb and I grew up. Well, I grew up right by the blues clubs, blues and jazz clubs. But Deb ran
Sad.
sound for some of the blues artists. So a lot of our reflection on terminologies and some of my rhythms, that's where it comes from. Even when I was in the metal bands.
So Kim is sad is in all capitals. Is that an acronym for something? Or
Oh,
is it sad as the word sad?
we
We
had
had
bars.
bars I could play. Oh, we had bars I could play. Oh, okay, cool. Had as in past
Yeah.
tense.
Yeah, let's wait till maybe she's typing in.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot has changed.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and we'll
So
wait, yeah,
stepping out is
yeah. Sad as
sad as
crying.
crying.
I hope
Hello.
Yeah, Kim, I hope everything is good. I hope you're not.
Oh, are you referring to your town? Town looks nothing like it did 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Sad.
We had
Okay, we had
bars I could
bars I could
play.
play. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
bummer.
it's 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 that is sad.
So, which actually leads into your
Right,
next
my next song,
song.
which this is what I'm gonna so, the next song is entitled Inspiration. So, you get inspired, the song stepping out with a new, you got a new outlook in life. You want to inspire, desire to inspire. But this song also is an inspiration from a Santana song off of the Marathon CD. There was a song on there called Aqua Marina, and I love that song. There's no words, there's no lyrics. See, a lot of people they always associate Santana's music with Oya Como Va and Black Magic Woman, and Europa is going. But check out Caravan Ferrari, check out Boboletta, check out Moonflower. He had another song called Oneness, I believe it was. Yeah, that's when he was getting into a lot of the jazz fusion stuff, and a lot of it was just instrumental stuff. And then when he came out with Inner Secrets, that's the album that had Open Invitation, and the follow CD to that
Ooh,
or
I like
album.
this one.
That's a good. Yeah, that was a great song. But Marathon had a rocker on there called "All I Ever Wanted Was to Be with You," and that song rocked. But
Ooh, that's a good one.
that's a good one, yeah. But this song, Aqua Marina, was the only instrumental. I think it was one of the only instrumentals on there, and it just had this really nice vibe to it. So that's how this came about because it's based off of a major G major 7 to a D major 7. And it started arpeggiating the chord and then it picks up with the rhythm. So how I came up with the melody on that one is I'm just taking the G major 7 here, taking it a whole octave here, and just taking the melody.
That's a really pretty song, Inspiration.
So
Very pretty.
it is not really based on shredding. It's just based on this emotion. So for me, it has a twofold meaning because it was such a strong relation to that Santana song because I just love that chord progression. And then when I was doing the mix down and as I arranged the songs in this order, it just happened to lead. It's like one title leads into another as it builds on just having a hope, and then all of a sudden you go through these emotions, and then everything works its way out. You know.
And
So
I'm going to jump in here real
mhm.
quick. Sonia says Santana does wonderful instrumentals. Zappa did too.
Yeah,
And then Kim asks, Deb, do you play? Let's see. What year was it? We
the
had
drum set.
a metal
Yeah,
band.
we had that was
Because
that
that
was
was,
early 2000s, I think.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think we did
because
that.
I
I
left.
think, yeah, I played keyboards,
Mhm.
but I'm not a keyboard player. And what I mean by that is Dave wrote out all my parts, and then all I had to do is just read from the
And she
page
was real good at it
and
too, man. I'm
play.
like, wow. I'm like,
So I pretty
yeah,
much faked my way through it. And actually, we had a we had a
yeah.
band, and it was pretty
It was
fun.
it was
It was a
awesome.
lot of fun. And
I,
in
I
fact, I have that album. Maybe I'll put. Oh, I could put that up on our website. I'll work on that one because that's the only one that's going to have vocals because it was a full band. And on that CD, I'm playing keyboards. David obviously is on guitar. We had a bass guitar player, a
yeah,
drummer. Our bass guitar player sadly had passed away, so it'd
yeah,
be a good tribute to Brad
yeah.
for me to put that on our website.
What about Brad's son, real briefly?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So and then our bass player's son, he was just a little guy running
Yeah,
around in
like
our
10 years
house
old,
back in the
Brad.
day.
Yeah,
No, he wasn't
he was
even
in him
10
10.
years
Maybe
old.
was he?
No, he was barely above a toddler. He was And so today he plays professional football. He's in the NFL.
Yeah, he used
He
to
he was signed with Green Bay for about 3, 4 years,
number
and
95, Tyler
Tyler
Lancaster. Yeah,
Lancaster on the yes on the Green
Green
Bay
Bay Packers.
Packers, and now he got signed for this coming up season to the Raiders. To the Raiders, the
The Vikings, is it?
no, but oh yeah, we know our football. Vikings are Minnesota.
Go Cubbies!
The Las Vegas, the Raiders. Yeah, because it
I'm
used
just-
to be in L.A. That was it the L.A. rate, or is it L.A. chart? I don't know. Anyway, it's the team with the black and silver.
I have an Ivan as
The
our
colors are black and silver. And he got assigned to
Yeah,
them
he
to
got-
play football,
yeah.
professional football in the NFL with that team.
As a matter of fact,
But yeah, so then I did play a little bit of keyboards. That's
Yeah.
going to be on that CD. And then I started playing drums. And I had the drums in the living room one. Just a real quick story here. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool. So our house that we had in Aurora, it was over 100 years old. And it used to be an Armenian boarding house. And apparently some people have passed away in that house. And so I had the drums set up in the living room, and I was home all by myself, and I was cranking up the stereo and I'm playing along to the stereo. And all of a sudden, right in my ear, this voice screams, "Stop it." And I was like, holy crap, who's home? And I got up and I walked around the house. Hey, who's home? Who's home? I went upstairs. I went out to the back window on the second level of the house where I can see the complete driveway. There was no other car in that driveway except mine. The hair on the back of my neck stood straight up, and I'm like, holy crap. There's nobody home, and somebody screamed in my ear.
there were
So
certain
then
things in
the
that
next
house.
morning, the drums went into the garage. I took them out of the living room because whoever yelled at me did not want those drums in the living room. So, and then that voice never ever talked to me again. So yeah, the drums went in the garage, and actually we ended up heating and air conditioning our garage. So, and we ended up having our band practice in there because we didn't do it in the house. We
No.
started to do it in the house.
Yeah, we started doing the house.
Yeah, we were doing it in the
But
house in
then-
the front room, and then like
the garage, and then because
remember somebody doesn't like drums in the house.
and then remember
we
we
going in the garage.
because we still had our HVAC company. So one of the systems I pulled out, I used as an air handler, and we got ourselves a condensing unit. We put AC in the garage, so it would cool us down. But yeah, Zach, you're right. The band America has some beautiful guitar parts too. Yeah,
That's right, Kim.
and Kim,
A
yep,
ghost.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
we got some ghost stories we'll share another time.
yeah, we got
But,
some interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's my extent of playing, which I haven't in years and years. So pretty much no. I can say no right now. I don't play, but this guy does, and
Yeah,
that's what's important. And having a team
yeah.
here
You
where
gotta
we
have
can
a team.
focus,
Yeah,
and he focuses on all of the instruments and making all this awesome music for us. And then my focus is the website, the newsletter. If you haven't, sign up for our newsletter. I only send it out once a month, so I'm not bombarding people with newsletters every week. It's once a month, and I put pictures in there, kind of recap what we did that previous month, and then what's coming up the current month. And it's kind of fun. And when people come out to the shows, I get shout outs, and then at the end of the newsletter, I'll have some music history that happened that particular day that I actually wrote the newsletter. And it takes about 3 hours to write that newsletter. And then after I send it, I look at it and I can read it in like 2 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, it took me 3 hours to write this, and it only took 2 minutes to read it. But no, if you can, and the sign up is right on our website, davebyronmusic.com, and there's a like newsletter where you can type in your email and get on the list. And at Christmas, we'll probably be running some specials on music and that sort of thing. So yeah, kind of stay current and up to date. on what we're doing and going. And
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kim. He
he
said,
plays, yeah, he plays too good. He does.
yeah,
Yeah, David
I,
is amazing,
I
amazing.
don't take it for granted. To me, and I only apply this to myself. I don't try to force people on anything I would, but to me, it's a gift from God, and I've always, I always had
And a
this.
lot of your song titles are reflecting that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not to jam anything down anyone's throat. It's just
So,
inspiration. If it's there, and if not, that's cool.
and track 9,
So track 9 is called
Chill.
Chillaction. So this song really has that vibe of you just sit back, and again, I'm just messing with a drum program, and then the rhythm comes out. And then the melody, again, I'm just arpeggiating F sharp minor. And that's basically, centered around that. But it just has just like a little bit of a slow groove that you could just sit back and relax. Because a lot of these places I'm playing at, I love to shred. It's great. It's fun. But certain things just don't fit. And even with certain styles of music. So for me, I love this kind of music that I write equally, just as much as I like, to shred. So to me, it's having those two different worlds that coexist. So to me, that chord progression and that rhythm, it just reminds me of just you're sitting back, you're relaxing, you're right by the waterfront. There's another thing I like about down here is back in the early 80s, early to mid 80s, me and my friends, Andy and Angel, used to go down to, since I lived in Chicago, the lakefront, Addison Rocks, which is down Addison Avenue. You just go all the way to the lakefront. It was called Addison Rocks. They had a big totem pole there that was part of their park. And then you'd walk beyond that, go through like a little bit of a park, forest preserve type of thing. And then eventually you got into where the rocks. And the reason why they called it Edison Rocks, it was the waterfront, but people were jumping in, and this is what they did. They put these big boulders clumped all over there, so you couldn't really just dive in there and party. But we would sit there and have these jam sessions, and it was right by the waterfront. So fast forward to now, as I'm playing at Yucatan's and some of these other places, but especially Yucatan's, every time I look and I see that waterfront, that's what it always reminds me of. And since it's so relaxing, that's what inspired that song title. Now, track number 10 called Being With You.
Let me jump in here real quick.
Yeah.
So Kim says, I feel the same way, just a hobby for me now. And I fired the band, so no players, just me. So there you
Yeah.
go, Kim.
Yeah, you know how it is. I get this a lot when people ask me, "Do you play in a band? Have you ever played in a band?" And yeah, of course. And it's a lot of fun. Here is here is the thing with playing in a band and with other musicians. When everybody is spot on, you could just bounce all these ideas off of each other, and that then you really create magic. But now here is its downfall. I don't like saying anything bad, but the reality is that band members come and go. Sometimes artistic ideas don't always go. Everyone's headbutts, and then everybody wants to go out and they're trying to pick all these cover songs. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's almost as if nothing. All your ideas that you play that you come up with always get shelved. And then the big one is when you got to travel. You got to have people on the same. They got to be on that same page. They got to learn how to get along because once you start booking shows, cross country, and especially going overseas.
So Kim says, I hate the ego trips.
Yes, the
Yeah,
ego trips. See, here's something
exactly.
I have to jump in real quick. This album and this style of music always reminds me of my jamming with my best guitar buddies, like Andy and Angel, and Louis and Rob and Yvonne. When that whole summer, 1981, after I graduated high school, I was gonna go. I was first gonna go to Berklee College of Music. I just wanted to do music. And then I think through Guitar Player magazine, I found out about GIT, Guitar Institute in California. And since it's only guitar, I thought, oh, that'd be even cool. And at the time, it was like California is the place you want to be, so you loaded up the truck and you moved to Beverly.
Hills, that
That's
is.
it. So and when I look back
Booby
at this,
shot.
that whole experience that I would have gotten, because my mindset, especially after I graduated, was like my work ethic was like 100%. Me and my friends, Andy and Angel, used to practice together. We used to do 8 to 10 hour practice a day practice sessions. Now there was no academia, but the work ethic was, to me, as if I would have gone to GIT, that would have been the work ethic because we were so into it. It wasn't we were trying to be better than the local band. We were trying to be as good, if not better, than the stars out there. Because in our mindset, what would happen if we got the phone call and I remember Angel saying this, and then all of a sudden the guy from Journey, and not C. Perry, but the keyboard player, Greg Rollins, because he's one of the founding members. Greg Rollins calls, hey, Angel or Dave or Andy, do you think we're going to be in Chicago? Neil Sean is sick. I've heard your cassette tape. You want to come in and do a couple shows with us? That was our mindset, to be that spot on, and have our mindset that great work ethic, easy to work with. We'll get the job done. We're not going to overplay. But when we play, it's gonna be so musical. It's like, wow, you sound like a record. It's a lot of work, my friends. It's a way of life. And there are times we don't always achieve that, you know what I mean? Because there's all these variables. But that was our mindset. So the reason why I say, and I've said this once before, chances of me being able to get, if I would have gone to GIT, I probably could have got in on all that, the 80s metal bands, because that was happening you know. But there's another chance that no matter how good you are, you could have get shunted, and then what do you do? You know what I mean? So I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but I just wanted to just kind of set the pace of that time, that time frame back then. Um, it was very fashionable to be a good musician. It really was. You had to work. It became a way of life. I mean, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of parties my friends are going to. I was called a nerd. You're always by yourself or with your guitar buddies. But there was a goal. And if you're goal oriented, no matter what, you're gonna push through. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, and that's just it. So
So, Kim asked, "How do I get a CD mailed to me?" And I responded to send me an email, dbyronmusic@gmail.com with your address, and I'll email you an invoice through PayPal, and then I will send out that CD to you. No problem at all. And then Zach says you should do some videos of your original music and send it to Metalhead
yeah,
Hippie.
metal. Zach. Yeah, I've had a couple of videos on his program, and I mean, Metalhead Hippie is such a great guy, and I think what he is doing for the community is, man, so great. I think it's, man, I hope his channel just grows and explodes, man, because his whole concept is to try and help other people, and God bless that guy. Great guy. So, but what's really cool with Metalhead Hippie, he's open to all styles. But I think what I would do is some of the metal, because I know he loved metal. Just, man, just
Oh,
was
he's
in my.
got it. And actually, we're probably going to do more of these
Mhm.
video spotlighting each one of David's CDs and going through the songs and what inspired him to write them and title them the way they are. So, and he does have a metal CD
Yeah.
out. And actually, one of the songs on that
Yeah.
CD
Good.
sounds pretty cool. It's people have said that it's something that should be on a video
Oh
game.
yeah, on the Legend CD,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the Legend CD. Yeah.
Resurrection, or
So
I got one of the songs.
what's
Oh,
this?
this was the other CD that I'll talk about, but we'll talk about
Oh,
later.
yeah, not on this
Yeah.
one because let's see, we're gonna jump
Yeah.
to where were we at?
Oh yeah.
Chillax.
Yeah. No.
Oh
Now,
no, being
being
with
with
you,
you. Now, this
being with
particular
you.
song.
Okay, track number 10,
Yeah.
being with you. Oh, Mr. Rocker says
Oh,
hello.
hey, what's happening, my friend? Hope all is well.
Yeah, we're just running down through the songs on Dave's newly released CD, Hope on the Horizon, a jazz fusion, and we are on track 10 right now. Being with you. So go ahead. Tell
Yeah.
us what
Now, this
inspired
song,
you.
this song always reminds me of something I heard back in the late '70s. and I don't know whoever, I don't know the name of the song. It's like one of those songs that gets, lost, never even became a one-hit wonder or anything. It just got played a couple of times on the local radio station, and then it disappears. You know what I mean? But I do remember the chord progression similar to what I did. So what I did here, I either took the chord progression up a whole step and changed the rhythm. So it's not like I'm trying to steal someone's ideas, but it was really inspired by it. And so it just kind of just the song, the title "Being with You" just kind of is what I heard in my head. So, and again, when you're playing instrumental music, a title can kind of depict the chord progression, and not just the chord progression, but its rhythm and its melodies. So for me, it's almost like you're writing music as if I was composing for a movie. Because when I was a kid, my dad played motion picture soundtracks, so I was kind of brought up on classical and jazz and blues, and then later on rock and metal, but not too much later for that. But mostly that. So to me, instrumental music kind of depicts a story. So that's how I think, when I'm playing it. And that title just happened to come to me. Now, the next song on here, uh, this kind of leads into one another. So being with you, and then the track 11 is called "Growing Old Together." That right there is the only acoustic number that's on here, and the way the chord progression is, you won't hear it on here. It's a very subtle. It's done on my nylon string. It just has this vibe that kind of reminds me. It reflects as we get older in life, and if you're being with someone that you love, well, right there, kind of like my grandfolks, my grandmother and grandfather. Um, when I was what was it, 9 years old, we went to live
Oh,
with my grandmother and my dad and
okay.
my grandfather. And they were old school. My grandfather was in World War II, so they're old school. And so seeing how their lives were, you have that generation where no matter what, they stuck together. And that's what this song title reminds me of. So it's very subtle, and it just it makes you relax. As we get older, we look at life, and here's what's really cool about being this at this age in your mid 50s, mid to late 50s. Um, you don't have to feel like you got to impress people anymore. When you're young, you got all that energy, and you got to hit it hard, and your girls make themselves all up because they want to, you're trying to attract each other. You know what I mean? And for us guys, we're always trying to prove ourselves. But there comes a time where you could let all that go, and you could start to really enjoy life, and that was really cool. So that's why a lot of this stuff also has a little like a calming feel to it. You know what I mean? It takes you on a little bit of a journey. So yeah, the song "Growing Old Together" is as we reflect on ourselves. Like you know, it's when you could reflect and have all kind of things that are more on the positive. Everyone goes through things. That's inevitable. That's how we learn. But it's how you fix things. Like my dad used to say, you try all you can, and even when you fall, you might fall face first. You know what I mean? But if you fall flat on your face, at least you're still moving forward. Just get up and keep moving. You know.
Oh,
So.
Kim, this is your address. You're in Georgia, right? That's why I was scrolling up here to
Oh yeah, I
see
think she said Georgia. Yeah, no, I thought I saw the state.
because okay, so uh, Robert is my first name. I was always called Kim. Okay, no worries there. And because I think what autocorrect enjoy. Okay, autocorrect used
Thank you
your
so much.
last name as the state, and I was thinking, is this? Is this a US address? So that's why you got a reply email from me asking, is this a US address? But now I see from scrolling up that what happened. Okay. Yeah, no worries. You have a Georgia address. All right. Yep. I'm Greek. Oh, okay. In Georgia, I'm Greek. Okay. All right. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
Georgia.
awesome.
Georgia's a nice
That's
state. We were up
awesome.
there 2 years ago.
Yeah, we have friends that live in Georgia, and I've got cousin that lives in Georgia as well.
I know we did a gig in Atlanta, Georgia. I remember that. It was at this restaurant. We were outside. I do remember that.
Yeah, yeah, we played in Georgia on our road trips,
Yeah.
and
So now getting with the final track called "In the End," it's a good, ending. And it's the one that just has a real nice melody. Playing a A sharp minor to an a minor seven. So that's a song that I wrote when I was gigging at. Now it's called Jungle Bird, but when we first got down here, it was an Italian restaurant called La Corte Bistro. And on on this channel, if you scroll back a couple years ago, you'll see me playing in looks like a garden setting, mostly with the acoustic. That was La Corte Bistro, and that was great, man. I love that place. But one day, when I just got the Ibanez with the reverse headstock, I brought it and I wanted to see if I could do like a little jazz thing. And one of the tracks came out, and the reason why I call this, I don't know really what the title is. Kind of strange on that one because maybe it's just the way it came out. What's your end result? But I remember Nick was the head chef at La Corte, and he played guitar. And like a lot of us guitar players, we like to rock out, man, and we still do. So none of that changes. But we do have this other side that when we hear someone, it's like, wow, that sounds cool. That's really nice, man. I remember he was talking to me about it. He said, "What make you come up with this stuff?" And it just, it just happens. And again, a lot of this is probably because it reminds me so much of after I graduated high school, those great times I had with my guitar buddies. I mean, there was no YouTube or anything, so we were a guitar community. But we stuck together, we hung out together, we jammed together, we do some shows together. But it was like I said, and we looked after each other. And we got to the point where the three of us were able to run scales in different harmonies. Yeah, I mean, very fast, very accurate. Because the guys that inspired us was Al Di Meola and Paco de Lucia and John McLaughlin and all that. So when you're trying to mimic that, man, you're practicing, man. You're hitting it hard. And then because we were always together, we will always bounce these ideas. And a lot of times what would work is playing these type of chords, major and minor seventh chords. And I think it's because we're able to just instantly come up with a melody. And so it has a very like a Latin flair to it, because listening to Santana and Al Di Meola at the time, it was a very heavy like Latin jazz rock fusion. So this is what all this reminds me of, this type of music. And but so I was telling Nick about this, and he was like, that was really cool because he's very artistic in creating because he was like one of the top head chefs down here in Southwest Florida. And after LaCourte left, him and his dad opened up Seacraft, and then shortly after that, they both passed away, and that was very, very tough, man. So I thought, well, have a good ending on this CD, and it's still it's a little dedication to Nick. But basically, these songs are kind of a reflection of what I used to do when I was a teenager. I was what graduated high school. I was 17. So yeah, in the summer of because my birthday's in November. In the summer of '81, I was 17 years old, and it was 1981, and we the hard rock heavy metal wasn't as dominating as it was later on in the '80s, and it wasn't called shredding. until like after, Ingve and Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. It was just a guitar virtuoso. So before those guys, you had Dee Miola and Alan Holdsworth and Jeff Beck had a Jeff Beck Wired album. So that kind of got me out of the rock and where the guitar could be like the vocal point, but in a rock setting. Um, so that's kind of as I was making that transition into the jazz fusion. And when I met, Andy and Angel, that definitely, sparked that interest. And there'll be more CDs that's like this, but also I'll have my rock CDs coming out as well. So, um, but yeah, to me, music it's a reflection of, to me, no, I'm not gonna be able to say because she's.
Oh, pirate. Oh, the other one. Sorry. It's 10:30. It's 10:30.
Yeah,
Oh, by
the slap
it's
slap
10:30.
happy.
Yeah, it's past our bedtime. Definitely my bedtime.
But to me,
But
music is a reflection of life. Whether
I
it's
was
heavy
actually in
metal,
muscle
whether it,
cars
it
when I
has
started
all these
playing.
influences.
Oh, wow. Kim said I was into muscle cars, didn't really start playing till about 29 or so. Hey, better
You
late
know,
than never.
when I was
And that's not
yeah
even late.
yeah that's not
29.
even when I was teaching very heavily in Illinois, I had a lot of students. I don't know how we did this a lot. Well, it was full time with the music.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing, and we did a lot of shows. And I would have people. I would have substitute teachers at the school I was at that would sit in for me when I would be doing my road shows, and I was very thankful for that because wow, man, we had a lot of those road shows, and it was all self funded in our cars, sleeping at the rest stops, the trucks, mostly it's truck stops.
Oh, yeah.
Taking shit.
We'll do another
We have
video
video
talking
on
about
talking about all that.
how we survive. How
Yeah.
we survive with no hotels,
Mhm.
days and nights on the road with not one
Wow.
hotel.
Remember driving through the desert at nighttime? We
Oh,
seen us.
that's
Oh my
another
God,
story. That's another
that's another
story.
story. There. Oh my God, we didn't realize we were in the desert.
And then we're also going to be, I have another video. Our next video is going to be talking about the Undercover 2
Yeah.
CD. This is pretty cool as well. And this is available on our website right now under the Undercover 2 tab. Just
Yeah.
click on that, and everything on this is free music to be downloaded. And you'll see why, and we'll talk more
We'll
about
talk more about that
on our next
on our
stream.
next.
So we're gonna try to keep these to an hour
Yeah.
so that we can share more with you
So I don't go
every
off on a
week.
tangent because
Every
man, I apologize about that
Jeez,
one.
I wonder who goes on a tangent. I don't know.
But
Oh, Pooh Ninja, all the
hey, Punanja, what's
stars.
happening, man? But
So
yeah, 29 is
okay,
not old. You're never too old to learn something that you really
never
want.
too old. Yeah,
No, and that's what keeps you young. Music keeps you young. It really does.
absolutely, absolutely. So all right, join us for tomorrow night.
Oh yeah,
Our
we're gonna be
gig
doing
at
a
the Art Walk in downtown Fort Myers. Going to be outside from 6 until 10. That's going to be a 4-hour gig. And then Saturday, our usual Saturday afternoon at Yucatan from 12 till 3. Sunday is a private wedding brunch
yeah.
at the Hyatt Regency Coconut Point in Bonita Springs. I doubt we're going to go live there. The room is small, and
Hmm.
we're going to be right there with all the guests and the bride and groom and mom and dad. And actually, I
But I
may
still
not
get to play my
I may
stuff,
not
man.
even be in the room myself. It's that small. I might be in the hallway just listening to the music and peeking in every once in a while, make sure Dave is okay, and that sort of thing. Oh, so yeah, for sure we're going live tomorrow night and Saturday afternoon. And then next week, every week we're going to have this double D, the power of
There you go.
two
The power of two.
video.
Double
I
D.
don't know where I get this. Where did you go with that? I don't know. I think people started calling us that on the shows. Double
Yeah,
D, double D.
Deb and Dave.
Yes,
But
two squared.
yeah. Yeah.
Or D squared. That's what it is.
Yeah.
D
D
squared.
squared. Let's see.
All right, Zach. Later, Dave and Deb. Take care. Keep rocking. All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you guys
Will
so
do,
much.
guys.
And
Thank you.
yep, we'll be tuning in live tomorrow from the show, and probably
And
Deb will show you the area of downtown Fort Myers.
yeah. All right.
do
Yeah.
that.
We got a big load. We got a load in from the street. Oh, it's all kinds of
It's
cool
gonna remind
stuff.
like the gigs we done downtown Chicago, except they're gonna be a
This
little,
is gonna be much better.
gonna
Than
be much better
downtown
because
Chicago.
as soon as you pull up, here
No.
comes the traffic cop in that little tiny little thing, a little
No,
cart,
not
you know.
doing downtown Chicago anymore. Later, Sonia.
Citizens arrest.
All right,
All right, my
guys.
friends.
Kim, I'll get you your invoice out right after we. end
Thank
this
you for
stream.
tuning in, guys. We love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, you stay strong, safe, and true. Rock on, and God bless you, my friends. Take care. Thank you for watching.